It's hard for me to separate giving from worship. It's just all one part of worship for me, that everything I have is from God, to give him that little bit back and know that then he helps me to manage the rest. It's just part of worship for me.
We give to the church because we believe in the missions and the purpose of the church. It gives our family and our kids a safe, friendly place where they can learn the right things that we want them to be learning, and we also like the missions and the way the church serves other people, so we like to contribute to it in our part for the other people, the missions that it does, and for our children to teach them the right things as well.
We've been involved in the church for about 15 years, and my wife and I have had a chance to participate in what the church does through the missions, through education, and have seen the great things that can come from the gifts that we're able to give firsthand.
And the mission of this church is to reach out to the community. The mission of this church is to work with our young people to make them better citizens. The mission of this church is to make better disciples in this church. And that's why I like this church so much. I like its leadership. I think we have excellent leadership. And having been on a finance committee for years, I know the fiscal responsibility of this church is excellent. And that's why I stay at this church, and that's why I give to this church and will continue to give.
I give because it is a very important part of my discipleship journey. My offering is a pure gift to God in thankfulness for what I've already have.
Well, I think this church is a spirit-driven church. I think they do a lot of good things. I was once told that there are like 51 or 53 different missions, and it does us good to see that the money that we're giving goes to God's work.
I think we give because it's a place we enjoy coming. We want to continue to coming back and support the growth of the church.
We like to see a lot of different missions and projects going on, so it's always nice to see the growth and changes every year.
I teach Sunday school, and I taught Sunday school a while ago when my oldest, who's now 8, was a baby, and it was hard to make that decision because being a stay-at-home mom and busy with the kids, I'm around kids all the time. But and now I teach Sunday school again, so it's a sacrifice of time, but I feel like God has blessed that decision because I love doing it, and it's not stressful because the children are so appreciative. So that's as far as giving of our time and money too. We have made it a point to give a certain amount per month, and you don't miss it at the end of the day.
Yeah, since being involved in the church, we were probably like many people and just gave really a small amount every week. And over time, my wife and I thought about it, prayed about it, and began giving a percentage of our income. The first year was a smaller percentage of our income, and each year after that we tried to increase that and to give back to the church. We saw what the church can do in the community, what a difference it can make, and we believe it. It has changed our lives, and it's kind of our first gifts that we give.
Definitely, there have been many times. We're an education family. There's never been a lot of extra to give, and the times that we've given sacrificially, thinking that this was a big step of faith, God made it so easy, and we got more back by giving than we could have imagined.
I guess that happened because my parents, when I was younger, they taught me that giving was a habit. I went to a Lutheran church downtown, and it just has continued throughout life.
It probably started, I guess, as a kid, going to church with my parents all the time, and we would see them give on a regular basis, both time and money. And we would actually, as kids, me and my brother would, not all the time, but fairly regularly, bring in a quarter from our bank or from our own money and give it, and our parents supported that, and that would, I guess that instilled the basics in us, and then as we grow up, you see what the money is going for and how it benefits our family and others, and it just pretty easily becomes a habit to give.
When I finally got that giving was not to pay the bills of the church, but a very blessed gift to mission and ministry here, so our church can collectively do God's work, it was easy to give regularly.
Giving grew to be a habit for me because my family always gave when I was younger, and my parents just taught us that we should always set aside some money to give to good causes and to the church, so I've just continued that as an adult.
I think like any other practice, we just kept going and seeing that it worked. God was faithful. We have some exciting testimonies with our giving that can only come from God. So it's just been a blessing. It's gone beyond a habit too. Again, I have to equate it to worship. I need to give. I can't understand how I can afford not to give. He's in control of our finances.